everyone, this is David Pike, the Motorcity Mechanic. In today's video, we're going to be talking about something a little bit different. It isn't going to be about the PT Cruiser or the latest and greatest recall. It's not even a repair video. Instead, I'm going to be talking about an event I attended recently called the ROVAL. Now, one thing I do want to point out is that this video is courtesy of our friends at Motorcity. So yes, this is a sponsored video. But remember that all the opinions expressed are mine and mine alone. So what is the ROVAL? Well, the ROVAL is a combination of two different racetracks. On one hand, you've got a road course, and on the other hand, you've got an oval track. You put them together, you've got the ROVAL. That's something new that NASCAR is trying at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, and depending on how well it does, it's something that you may see in the future at places such as Daytona. So what they've done is, typically with Charlotte, you've got some long straightaways and you've got 4 left turns. Now what they've done now is they've incorporated a portion of the infield. So now there's a lot of left and right turns. So that means that the cars have to be set up differently. The driver's got to know how to drive a road course versus an oval track. You've got things such as braking, accelerating, shifting. All these take into consideration on this style of track. So now you know what the ROVAL is all about. So now let's go ahead and jump back to the event, and that way we can get some more questions answered, like mainly, what does Pennzoil have to do with this? Now the main thing we need to do is get to the infield. So it's a matter of jumping on a golf cart, taking a short ride. At that point, we're just going to be walking through the crowds of people until we find the Penske race team, because that's the team that we're going to be hanging with. They're the ones with the answers to our questions. And the person we're looking for is Travis, because Travis is the competition director. He's the person that we're going to be asking questions to and hopefully getting our answers. So the first thing we wanted to ask him was, what was his opinion on the ROVAL itself?
How confident are you today?
Good to see you. Oof, it's a pretty hard one to be confident in, man.
Oh yeah?
This is
it's the general feel of like everybody?
Yeah.
Like everybody's nervous?
Nobody's like, yeah, man, we got this one.
Joey's in his chair going like this?
Some of the stuff from today may never race again, because this place is brutal, man. This is like the Baja 1000 for the Cup Series right now, but I feel really good about the durability so far. Now the race hasn't started, so it's easy for me to say that. We did get one.
Are we doing an interview after the race again?
Yeah, sure. Okay. It could be a totally different one. Yeah, exactly. That's the head down. We didn't think about this. It's really hard to simulate jumping 2 feet in the air with these things. They're just not meant for that. So we did make it through with our Xfinity car yesterday, so I feel a little bit better about the systems check there. But this is a hell of a thing. Really, this is kind of a look at it like a redneck. Hey, yo, watch this. And hopefully, people want to come see it.
And then the other question that we had for Travis was, how does oil play an important role, especially with all the extremes that these engines go through on this particular racetrack, along with the other rules that NASCAR's implemented, such as running the engines for more than one race?
Definitely, temperature is crazy. We'll run oil temps at 280, 290 is normal. We start getting concerned around.
But the Pennzoil will handle that.
Right? Can you run the oil?
We built an Audi that we went racing.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah. So we were running our oil times at 282, but not on purpose.
You shouldn't be there. You should not have been there. You were messing up. But the oil stuff's definitely, it's gotten challenged by that. Your bearing, lubrication, everything to run 2 races now is. They've got to be more aggressive on it and make it work. And I think that certainly our City Shell has pushed really hard with their Pennzoil products for us to get that to where we can run 2 races safely, but still run the temp limits and the performance level that we want to.
What's the viscosity of the engine and the trans? No, hit water? Really? Okay. Oh no, okay.
At temp, at temp it's pretty damn thin. And really all the lubrications through the system are pretty thin.
Now after talking to Travis, we still had some free time before the race, so at this time we decided to walk around and check things out before they rushed us out of the infield. So we end up finally in the garage, and there's not a lot going on before, and for the most part not even during the race, unless there's too much damage on the vehicle and it cannot be fixed in pit lane. At that point it goes behind the wall and it ends up here. Now for right now, as you can see, a lot of the teammates are stretching, they're getting massages, they're getting limber, they're getting prepared. Few people are actually doing work, but for the most part, everything's pretty calm. At this point, we got to be rushed out of the racetrack because we're not allowed to be there during the race. We've still got a little bit of time, but the race is about to begin. And of course, you know when a race is about to begin, when there's a flyover. In this case, it was a C-17, which is an impressive sight to begin with. And what better way to follow it up than someone parachuting in with the American flag. Now with the race underway, one thing I want you to pay real close attention to is as that group of cars goes all the way around the track and comes back around to where we are, you're going to see them hit the inner and outer turn there on that final stretch. Pay attention to the tires. You'll actually see the vehicle leave the ground on both sides as it goes over it. And then after those two turns, they're going to make a hard left. And they're going to end up in the infield. And that's the road course portion of the race. As they sneak around, they're eventually going to make their way back around to the oval portion and just continue all the way back around. So at this point, we're going to fast forward to the final lap of the race. And I want you to pay attention to what's getting ready to happen to first and second place. Now there's a distance between them and third place. And in third place, we've got Ryan Blaney. Ryan Blaney happens to be one of the drivers for the Penske Racing team. So watch what happens when they go around those last two turns. Second place locks up his brakes, spins out, takes out the leader, and Ryan Blaney sneaks right down the middle, crosses the finish line, and takes the checkered flag and goes straight to victory lane. How better a finish could you choreograph for a race like the ROVAL than this? Now that I got to see Blaney get his number 12 car to victory lane, I'm starting to notice all the other race cars being loaded up onto their trailers, either going to the race shops or to the next race. And at the same time, the sun's starting to set. And it's given me a moment to reflect on everything that I got to take in that day, and how blessed and how lucky I was to attend an event such as this. This is once in a lifetime. We had the ROVAL, first time ever. I got to see things and do things that most people never do. And why? Because I'm just a guy that makes videos on YouTube. That's all it is. If it wasn't for viewers like you, I wouldn't be able to do stuff like this. The other thing is I got to hang out with 3 amazing YouTubers. We had Cody the Car Guy, we had Chris Duke of Motors with a Z, and we had Rich from D-Boss Garage. So big shout out to all 3 of them. Make sure to check out their channels. And another person I want to give a big shout out to is Pennzoil Motor Oil. It's because of them that I got to attend this event. Now you know, if you watch my channel enough, that I do not line myself up with companies or manufacturers of products that I don't stand behind. Pennzoil is completely different. In my Ram pickup, I'm running the Shell Rotella. In both the Durango and the Mustang, I've got the Pure Plus technology oil. Why? Because it's made from natural gas. It's not from the crude oil out of the ground. So it's already a much cleaner product to begin with. And when it comes to your vehicle, it's obvious that you're not going to be driving around the ROVAL at speeds exceeding 100 miles per hour and oil temps over 280 degrees. But the oil that goes in your vehicle is just as important as the oil that goes in those race cars. Now something you need to pay attention to is what's the right oil for your car. So if you're taking it somewhere or if you're buying oil over the counter, the first thing you need to do is grab your owner's manual. Look in there and see what oil does your vehicle require. Is it 0W40, 5W20, 10W30? Whichever it is, make sure you get that specific oil. Also, there is a standard in your owner's manual for your manufacturer of what to look for. So look on the back of that oil that you're buying and see if it meets or exceeds those standards. Because not every oil works great in every vehicle. So pay attention to what you're getting. One of those oils that I highly recommend is what I mentioned just a minute ago, the Pure Plus technology. You can't go wrong with it. So if you liked the video, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up on YouTube. Don't forget you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And if you got any comments or suggestions about anything you saw in today's video, make sure to email me at david@motorcitymechanic.com. Also, if you'd like to shop on Amazon, there is a link in the description below this video. Make sure to click on that. Any purchases that you make will help support this channel. And do me one more favor, in the comments below, tell me what you thought about the ROVAL if you've got to watch it. Also, what oil do you use and why? Thanks again everybody for watching.